Alright, this book is called Cowboy Ned and Andy. I think Andy is the horse. Cowboy Ned and his trusty horse, Andy, were driving their cattle along the edge of the desert. They rose before dawn and milked the cows. The day grew hot. They moved in a long train over the dusty earth. At noon, they drank from a cool river. When night came, they were one day farther from home. Cowboy Ned had wrapped his poncho tight in the evening cool. Andy munched on his oats. Ned stared at the faraway hills and sighed. Tomorrow is my birthday, Andy. I'll be another year older, and no one is around to celebrate. I miss my sister, Nedna, my brother, Nedrick, and my mother. We just call her Ma. Well, I'm glad you're here, Andy. Good night. He quenched the campfire and then lay down in the dark and quiet. Andy tried to sleep but couldn't. Something was bothering him. Tomorrow is Ned's birthday, he said to himself, and the best thing to have on your birthday is a birthday cake. Ned needs a birthday cake, and I'm going to find him one. And, he decided, I'd better find one now, before he wakes up. As quietly as he could canter, Andy slipped away from the campsite, and soon he was alone in the desert. On the breeze he heard a shrill song. It was a cricket singing on a rock. Good evening, said Andy. And would you have such a thing as a birthday cake about? I need one for my friend Cowboy Ned, so he can have a cake on his birthday. No, said the cricket in a wispy voice. All I have in the world is my song. And he went on singing. Andy walked on. It was cold and clear and the moon was out. Suddenly, two big eyes shone from the darkness. It was an owl who sat on a cactus. I saw you coming a long way off, said the owl. What brings a young horse like you into the desert at night? I'm looking for a birthday cake for my friend Cowboy Ned, so we can have a cake on his birthday, said Andy. I can see far and wide, said the owl, from the rising mountains to the rolling prairie, and I have seen no birthday cake in this desert. Farewell. And he closed his eyes. Andy walked on. He was far from camp now, and it seemed that dawn was close at hand. Oh, how I wish I had a birthday cake for my friend Cowboy Ned, so he could have a cake on his birthday, said Andy. Just then, a voice came from the dusty rock below. Who's that clattering around in the sky? It hissed. It's me, Andy, the dapple gray steed, said Andy. He looked down to find a scorpion at his feet, surrounded by stones. What do you want, clomping around here, you great four-legged clod? Asked the scorpion, not too politely. I'm searching for a birthday cake for my friend Cowboy Ned, so we can have a cake on his birthday, said Andy. I have no birthday cake around here, said the scorpion. I have only my stones and dust, and I'd thank you to go away and let me get back to counting. I'm very sorry to bother you, sir, said Andy, backing away. It's just that it's nearly dawn, and I'd hoped— Well, if it will help you leave any faster, interrupted the scorpion, you might go ask the old cowboy who lives on the hill. I nested in his boot once on a cold night. Scurry past the big boulder where the moon sets, and you'll find him. He scuttled away under a stone. Alone once more, Andy walked on. It was the time of night when all was still. There was no wind and no sound but his own 4 hoofs in the sand. A little while before dawn, Andy found a house. Just outside was a man as old as hills, playing the banjo. Good evening, sir, said Andy. Or morning, as it may be, he added a bit nervously. After a long pause, the old man spoke. His voice was soft, like hoofs on sand and owl wings, and the movements of dust. What is it you want, my friend? He asked. I am searching for a cake, for my friend Cowboy Ned, so we can have a cake on his birthday, said Andy. I have no cake, said the old cowboy. Out here there'd be no one to share it with. Andy sat down in the dust. All I wanted was to give my friend Cowboy Ned a birthday cake so we could have a happy birthday, he said, but now it's too late. Is a cake the only thing that would make Ned happy? Asked the old cowboy. Andy thought. He thought of a little house out in the desert, and stacks of rocks and wind, and a campsite far away. No, he said. A cake is very nice to have, but the best thing to have on your birthday is a friend to share it with. I should have never left. A horse doesn't leave his cowboy halfway down the trail. The old cowboy smiled at Andy. Sounds like the best present you can give Ned, he said, is to be with him on his birthday. Now go to your friend before dawn. Andy hurried back, past the scorpion stone and the owl and the cactus and the cricket who had fallen asleep and was still singing himself a lullaby. As he went, he watched the sky until he saw an edge of it grow pink. Then, still gazing upward, he began to gallop east, racing to the dawn to be with Cowboy Ned on his birthday. At the campsite, he found Cowboy Ned and all the cows waiting for him. The sun was coming up. It was Ned's birthday. Cowboy Ned hugged Andy, and Andy wished him a happy birthday. And all the cows sang a birthday song in their low and gentle voices. And somewhere nearby, a banjo joined in. The end.